The Rhode Island Foundation, partnering with passionate Rhode Islanders to lead, transform, and inspire our state. Learn more at rhodeislandfoundation.org.
Welcome to another segment of In Another Opinion, a public information program where our discussions are focused on the communities of color in the state of Rhode Island. I'm your host, Peter Wells. My guest today is Barry Jean Murray, principal of Brooklyn House, LLC, and J. Bella Teixeira, artistic director and curator at the Brooklyn House Art Gallery. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could come on the show. There's so much going on in Providence these days in terms of development and capital improvement, and to meet you, the new owner of the Brooklyn Coffee and Tea House, it was a pleasure. I'm glad to see that there's movement, developmental movement, on a part of African American females.
Thank you. And there is. This, the Brooklyn House really is, we've tried to make it a place of destination for people of color, as well as the general community. We're trying to bring the arts, workspace, as well as coffee house and performances to historical Smith Hill. And we particularly chose that location so that I think it's a location that really speaks to the evolution of Providence, because Smith Hill is changing so much.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
And being an old mill building, I mean, it's kind of ironic that now we're talking about an art gallery, which of course you vested in, and Bella has brought her talents to. So tell me, what's going on at the Brooklyn House?
Well, we started, I purchased the property this year in 2018, and we started renovations from the ground floor up. And of course we put in the coffee house. We renovated that, and we're having right now events, performances, we have private parties and so on and so forth. The second floor, I have another business that I have, Business Focus Inc., that resides on the second floor, as well as a workspace. So we have a lot of people that can come, rent the workspace, we have audio, visual equipment, and so on and so forth, and people can get on the internet, of course, and all of that. Plus, we have a 5-star guest house that we're constantly booked.
Very
and
good.
We have our 4th-floor art gallery, which Bella is the curator and the director of.
Very good. Now, I've had the pleasure of being in the building, so and having coffee with the two of you, and took a look at the conference room space that was available to the community, I guess, or at a cost, I assume. But you've done a good job with that building. Tell me a little bit about the 5-star guest house. Is that an Airbnb or?
It's Airbnb.
Okay.
We are luckily a super host. We generally have a lot of corporate guests that come and stay with us for weeks or months at a time. The rooms are, they're well appointed. It's a very old property, so we have has a lot of historical character and a lot of openness. And we actually have a lot of international guests that are corporate. I would say quite a bit.
Very good.
Yeah.
And before I get to Bella, I just want to ask you one more thing, and that is about your other operation. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, or?
Business focus. This was my original business. I share that with, I have a business partner, Donna Guido, and it's a IT consulting and staffing firm. And we do quite a bit of business. We're in multiple states, but we're headquartered here in Rhode Island. And we do quite a bit of business with state and local and some commercial customers. And we started up in 2008, and we've been around for a little bit now, and have done. We're one of the largest minority businesses in the state.
Wow! So if I were looking for an IT job, I would call you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, very good. We have to make that known to the community as well.
Okay.
Bella, you and I have known each other for a while in various capacities. The Rhode Island Black Heritage Society when I first came here, and a few other ventures that you've been involved in. Tell me what's happening with the art gallery.
Well, I think for me it's a coming back home to the arts and being a part of that creative spirit that is so that describes Providence for me. So I'm excited that we have the art gallery inside the coffee house, and then we've conceived of every floor as a potential art space ready for an installation. And there's some new prints, and we have currently on the walls right now, we have a variety of art that's there. We're showcasing the work of Cynthia Ross Meeks, Native American artist, and we've exhibited her collages that are shields. The show is called Indigenous Circles.
Is she Narragansett?
Well, she's Wampanoag.
She's Wampanoag.
She's,
okay.
She is a northeastern woodlawn individual, and with deep and long ties to Rhode Island.
Very good.
Yeah.
So how often will the art change?
Well, right now we have a new exhibition coming in for the start of the year. With I just went to look at some new art that's going up, and so oftentimes it's artists who have shown, or artists who don't, but the whole idea is to get, to raise the profile a little bit, and to bring some artwork into the North End. Mm-hmm. And it's not like there's a gallery on every street corner up there, so it's rather nice. The space is inviting and beautiful, and so we intend to keep revolving the show. One way that we intend to get people there is by participating in gallery night. So we intend to do that, and so starting this year in 2019. So hopefully we'll be open so people can come in and see the works that's there.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are the hours of the coffee house?
Well, we're really open for right now for private
shows,
private shows and events. Eventually, in 2019, we're going to be open more often. People can come in for coffee, and of course, they can come into the art gallery. One of the things, just to piggyback on a little bit of what Bella was saying about the art gallery, we also have pieces in there, like we feature a local artist, Tennessee Ike Parker, who actually has done a lot of pieces. We have original pieces of what he's done. He did variations on Picasso.
Okay.
So we have a lot of that in there.
I did see that.
We have Dan Gosh in there. We have some of his iconic pieces his originals that used to be on the wall of the restaurant Leo's.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things in there that people can come in and see now, and like Bella says, will be changing from time to time. So there's always a reason to come into the gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something to see.
Well, I know some of the shows that you have coming up that I'm familiar with. I think this weekend you have a variety of things happening this weekend, which I hope to make.
Well, we hope you do. We have Cheryl Albright. Bella brought in Cheryl Albright to the Brooklyn House, and she's going to be doing 2 shows this weekend, actually Friday and Saturday, which is a tribute to Aretha Franklin. And we're asking people to come in and participate, and it's going to be audience participation. They're going to be able to testify on how Aretha Franklin has affected their lives personally.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And then we also have Maya Brewer
Yes.
Jazz Group is going to be coming in on the 9th.
Yeah.
The Jazz in the Afternoon series.
I've known Maya for a long time, actually. She's pretty diverse in what she does. I know from doing aromatherapy projects way back when I was actually running the VA. I actually hired Maya to do that with our staff. But nonetheless, the programs sound inviting. They sound diverse, and by the time this show airs, of course, they will have already happened. But I'm sure there'll be coverage to talk about it, one type or another. So let me ask you this, Barry. How did you come up with the whole idea, the whole concept of turning a mill building into a B&B, an office space, a coffee house, and a gallery? I mean, that didn't happen all at once, did it?
It didn't. I have to confess that I'm on the board of one of the schools that are over there, Times Square Academy. And
That's your neighbor, correct?
that's our neighbor.
Okay.
And we bought the building to sort of like save the building. I happened to be over there, and I knew that the building possibly was in trouble, and I knew the owner. And really, the building has been a point place for performances. I had been there for poetry readings. I had been there for different
Okay.
folk performances. So it was trying to continue that. The owner was, the previous owner, Tony Demings, was leaving the state, and so I purchased the building. From there, with Bella's help and her brother, Manny Teixeira, and also we have director Kelly Carlson, we've developed this vision that has evolved over time.
Okay.
Of the coffee house, the event spaces, indoors and out, the co-working spaces, and of course the gallery. And I have to say, truthfully, that Bella has been played very heavily in that vision.
Well, as I said, I've been in the space. It is warm, and as Bella said, inviting. I will admit that you do get that sense there. The grounds I think, are ideal for activities, especially in the warmer weather, of course. But I like the way it's laid out. It's kind of intimate in a way that outside buildings don't normally have, especially commercial buildings here in the state. But to move from an old mill to a different kind of an operation today is kind of interesting in the reuse of that building. There's so much construction going on in the city of Providence. Would not a new building have been just as good, or no?
I don't think so. This building has a lot of character. It was built in 1873. It's the Hennessy McHale block mill building. So it even though it is not, it does not have the historical connotation on it where it's protected by the city, It does have a mill classification, and you can see that from the plaque on the building. Preservation of this building, it has a lot of historical context for that area. It used to be the Armenian men's club for many, many years. It's been a
Armenian newspaper.
Armenian newspaper. It's been a
Supermarket.
market, supermarket. There are a lot of. This building has housed a lot of
different kinds of things in this
a
community.
lot of different types of things.
That's held this community together for a lot of years.
Exactly, exactly. In fact, there are people who say today that their fathers came there or their mothers were there. Some people got married there. This building holds a historical content.
I'm curious about something, and it's the name.
Yeah.
Where did the Brooklyn Coffee and Tea House come from? I mean, was it on the building when you purchased it, or was
No,
it? Okay.
no. It's a funny story. The previous owner, Tony Demings, he loved the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay.
And we actually have a drawing of his on the second floor of the
few
Brooklyn
drawings.
Bridge. Yeah. He kept drawing it till he thought he would get it right.
Uh-huh.
And it's his love of the Brooklyn Bridge that, as strange as that may sound, and he came up with the Brooklyn Coffee Tea House, and now we have the Brooklyn Coffee Tea and Guest House, or just Brooklyn House.
Brooklyn House.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when I saw the sign initially, before I actually had a chance to meet you and go into the building, I saw that sign, and it just, for some reason, I see Brooklyn in Providence. It was kind of a oxymoron in a way.
But that sign looks like it's been there for a long time.
It does.
And it's a brand new sign.
Is that right? Well, see,
Yeah.
you had me
It's
fooled.
Bella's idea.
Ah, very good. Well, you've always had an artistic flair, Bella. So,
Well, I think that's been my role, you know, like what colors to use and, you know, and, you know, being able to say, oh, what I really want are church pews. I want seats that are church pews. And then somehow Barry was able to manifest them. So it's been a great partnership. And
It has.
so
well, very good.
I love the design work. So
Well, I'm looking forward to participating in the shows. I mean, like I said, I have been over to have coffee, so
and it's a
I know
place
that
you'll
works.
invite your daughter to, so I know you like it.
Exactly. Daughter, wife, yeah, the whole family will get a chance to visit. In fact, I hope to bring my wife with me to the shows this weekend, but I'll be there to cover it in a different auspices for the newspaper. But tell me, what other shows do you plan? Hopefully in the future.
We're planning on having, we did have a stand-up and deliver, sort of like a moth hour type of thing, if I may borrow that
Sure.
word, where people come in and tell stories, and that was very much a success. And we're going to repeat that. We also have comedy shows that we're going to be repeating. We have someone that actually has written, oddly enough, a sitcom based upon the Brooklyn House
Really?
that they want to start shooting there.
It sounds exciting. I mean, they have all these
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah, it's a lot of different things that are coming up.
Wow. So you purchased the building in what year did you say?
May of 2018.
So in a very short period of time, you've developed this parcel into something very viable in a very short period of time.
Well, we're trying, and it's with the, you know, when they say it takes a village, it does. You know, we brought on a director, Kelly Carlson, and together with Kelly, Bella, and myself, and a few other people, and that list gets longer. It's working, and again, we plan to make this very deliberately a destination for people to come and enjoy a very inclusive experience of arts, of every type of diversity, and indoors and out. And we invite people to come by.
Are there any community partners involved? For instance, I know there's a right next door. You have it's not
The annex.
The annex,
I forgot the name of the community.
Providence College Annex.
Right.
And they regularly come over, and they're coming in, and we invite them to come in and participate in some of the things that we're doing there. But that one of the places that we're truly trying to partner with is Smith Hill Partners.
Okay.
Okay, who's bringing actually all businesses together up there in Smith Hill so that we can better the community.
Will this be a new business district? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That's really it. There's a lot going on up in Smith Hill right now, and properties are being bought. There's a lot of innovation that's going on that's centered around the community and community development, and we want to be part of that.
We know also too. You mentioned that you're neighbor to the school. Is there any connection? Are you doing anything with the school?
We plan to do a lot with the school, actually. I'm on the board there. By the way, we're number one
Is
in
that
the
right?
state. Yeah,
Very good.
number one charter school. And I've actually talked with Bella and talked with some of the folks over at the school about bringing the kids into different programs. But we're also open to doing programs with other schools. And so 2019, we hope to partner a little bit more with some of the surrounding schools.
Well, this is good. I mean, this is kind of 2018 was the beginning. 2019 will be the bigger development period, I suppose, if I could put a time frame to it, and the expansion of the gallery activities and things of that nature.
Yeah, we've been under construction for so long that it's, this month is really rather a soft opening for what the potential is. I mean, we've had events, but hopefully we'll have a lot more.
Now, Bella, you mentioned that the artists there currently are local artists, Native American in this case, and some other folks that are also there. Any connection to the historic side of Rhode Island, the preservation? I mean, the Black Heritage Society. There's no connection with that, is there? Or
No, not really. I think the connection is me.
okay,
And I have a lot of friends who make art that are of many different backgrounds. So it's an opportunity to, showcase art by artists who you may not see every day because there may not be as many galleries that specialize in the art of women, for example, or in individuals who are of color. But it doesn't change the fact that if you're white and male, you could also have an exhibit there. So it's really a space that is open to a lot of different manifestations of the creative spirit.
and different kinds of art.
And different kinds of art. We have an outdoor space that I envision in the summer that we could have a three-dimensional show. It could be sculpture and we want to do things in the interior that is conducive to having a coffee house business within it. So we can't have a large boat in there the way it's set up. But that doesn't, there's still opportunities to engage a broad audience with a lot of diverse works from diverse individuals.
Besides your gallery, there's not that many galleries that are focused, in Rhode Island anyway, that are focused on artists, new artists, especially artists of color that may not have had opportunities before. I know we've talked about the Sky Gallery on Broadway, Johnny Sky, who I think probably will eventually want to do something with you, I'm sure, because she does a lot of new art. In fact, she does a column in the Providence American talking about art and culture. But hopefully we can see some of that coming from the Brooklyn House in the future. But you know, art is obviously something in the eyes of the beholder. I can't draw a stick figure, so I'm not a good.
I don't draw stick figures either.
But I'm sure you could do a better job at it than I do. Trust me. My children will laugh at my art. But when we talk about art being in the eyes of the beholder, all of that includes the building and everything that's attached to it. I wonder whether or not we will see some art production at Brooklyn House besides just the gallery.
Well, one of the ideas that we've talked about is having artists in residence down the road. But that means mapping out our journey. You know, it's in the future right now, but also our intention is to create a space where we can have workshops.
That would be ideal.
In the outdoor space, but even in the interior space, if that's possible. And also, there's an opportunity to talk about the making of art, or you know, having artist talks and having a place where artists can talk with one another as well as the audience that comes to support that work.
Be interactive kind of things. Excuse me, we're going to run out of time, so I just wanted, what I wanted to do is get, if someone was interested in having an event at the house, how would they do that?
They would simply go to our website, and there is a space there for you to actually submit any type of event that you would like to do, and we will contact you and take you through the steps of either having a private or a public event. Or they can simply call us. Can I give the number?
Yes.
401-345-9099. They can simply call us, and we will entertain any and all events.
Barry, listen, thank you so much for being on the show. We have totally run out of time. It goes fast when you're having fun, quite frankly, like anything else.
Thank you for inviting us, truly.
But because we've run out of time, I want to thank today's guests, Barry Jean Murray and J. Bella Teixeira, and you, the viewers, for tuning in to another segment of In Another Opinion. A special thanks to PBS for making this program possible. I'm your host, Peter Wells. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at IA Opinion, and have a great day.
The Rhode Island Foundation, partnering with passionate Rhode Islanders to lead, transform, and inspire our state. Learn more at rhodeislandfoundation.org.